So if you look at these boxes of the levels on the 1 hour, I'm going to highlight this in orange because this is the reset. So this is the 1 hour cycle, 1, 2, 3, down a level, reset on the 1 hour, 50-50 bounce on the 4 hour, 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
Down 2 levels, plays around. Class, and this is the next 1 hour reset. And this will now be level 1 on the 1 hour chart.
So we're going back up again on the 2 more levels. And
so now when you look at this on the 4 hour, you can see clearly that it came off the peak low down here. It's came up. Here's the 3 levels on the 1 hour, which is only 1 level in the 4 hour. So this is level 1 now in the 4 hour. Then this is the pullback on the 4 hour, which is the reversal on the 1 hour. And then this 50-50 bounce is the reset to move up to level 2 on the 4 hour. Another 1, 2, 3 on the 1 hour, level 2.
Wow, I love the way you done that.
Yeah, it's then,
that's brilliant.
So it's then reversed off level 3 on the 1 hour, as this is the 4 hour pullback. Came down 2 little mini levels, played around for days. There was a chance to get in there and book a few pips, thought it was going, wasn't quite ready, pulled back, held it to non-farm. But obviously, there was 30 odd pips in there this morning before the non-farm candle. So now, looking at this, we know on the 4 hour, 1, 2. So now it's reset again. We know you usually get 2 1 hour resets in a 4 hour cycle. So now we're up to 1. So we literally want 2, 3. At this point, you're going to be on level 3 on the 4 hour. Then that's when we're going to look for this and back down.
Love it. Love it, mate. Let's see how that one plays out.
Yeah. The cycles have been perfect almost. So let's look at GU. So we'll go into the 1 hour again. Right. So 1, 2, 3. Came up a level. It's then reset. It came down 1, 2, 3.
Well, it's not done any 50-50s. Where's our golden setups?
Not on this move down, no. It didn't give any on GU this week. But well, it did here. And also there was a way onto the trade here, knowing that this was the reset, because this is like a an M on the 50 EMA on the 4 hour,
Sure.
just like this as well. So thinking back up a level, then this is our next reset. We know we usually get 3 levels on the 1 hour for every 1 level on the 4 hour, followed by a reset on the 1 hour down to the next level on the 4 hour. So, no. On this occasion, we didn't really get, I'd say we didn't really get another 3 levels down. Sometimes when you move on to level 3 on the 4 hour, you're not always going to get 3 extra levels on the 1 hour because you're on level 3 already on the 4 hour. So at the end of the day, it might not need to go any lower. You're on, obviously, the end of the 4 hour cycle. So you might not get that final 3 levels. Sometimes you do, sometimes you don't. But so that's how it was. Clear as day, the cycle on the 1 hour. Then let's look at the 4 hour. So 4 hour. So here's the peak. There's a cross. So level 1 here. Level 2. Three. That was a pullback on the 4 hour, the first reset on the 1 hour. This is the second one. Of course, preferably we want this to come here, but sometimes it's not going to pull back fully. Ideally, it comes to here every time and we get this move and make loads of money, but sometimes it'll come, sometimes it won't, but that's why we've got other pairs as well. So even if it doesn't happen on one pair, it can happen on another pair.
Sure.
GJ was similar, had obviously 1, 2, 3 in here. There was no pullback on level 2 this time on the 4 hour, just straight drop. GJ actually gave a really nice trade though here. This one. So this is like a little M on the 50 EMA and the 50%. We're obviously anticipating a pullback and then a reset down to the next level in the 4 hour because we know this is the peak. There's a cross. There's a pullback. So we're not buying this. We're only selling it. AU's been quite nice. Quickly on the 4 hour, going to say that's the peak. 1, 2, 3. Quite easy to see. There's the first reset on the 1 hour. There's the second. So on the 1 hour, you've literally got 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3.
So AU actually gave some golden setups, then, didn't it?
Yeah, AU's not been bad. The only problem was with AU was this one that looked perfect. It came during Asia. So obviously Australia is an Asian pair.
Mm.
It is. So when this move came, this was at here on the 1 hour. This was a news candle at 7 o'clock that shifted it. So you wouldn't be trading red news for a start, and also at 7 o'clock at night. In the morning, you'd be looking for some sort of safety trade, pull back to the 50, sell. It didn't give it. There
Sure.
would have probably been there would have been something on the 15-minute here. Obviously, the 30 EMA in the 1 hour is the 50 EMA on the 15-minute. So potentially there could have been a little sort of, well, let's look at it now. I don't like taking these 15-minute setups, but if you are taking them, level 1 is when I would say is the time to take them.
Yeah.
So it's kind of, it's like an ID 50, isn't it? Could have got in there, bit scrappy, bit scrappy. So yeah, I wasn't taking any trades on that one.
Okay.
If you notice as well, the reason I draw these lines, so these big yellow lines that I draw on each here.
Yeah.
So what I'll do on the daily is I'll find the highest, most recent point on the market and the lowest. A price that you know, a point that you know is a high liquidity area. There's plenty of money up here, pending orders, whatever else. So these points are quite important to note to see how price reacts when it gets to them.
Sure.
So I would even do one there on G Swiss, just see when it gets up here, potential M on the daily.
Sure.
So always look out for these things. UCAD, when it gets to here, that could potentially be the level 3 reversal in the 4 hour. So that would be more confluence if the 4 hour came up to here to level 3, pinned this high, then made a anchor to reverse from.
Right. Okay.
If you see what AU done, I had drawn this here weeks ago. It's came to this point. It grabbed. There's actually a pin here as well. If I delete this, see that pin?
Yeah, got it.
So that is not only taking out all the stop losses of the people that bought in here, the swing traders, anyone who's placed pending sell orders when this low is broken, it will pin them in, give them a little bit of profit, and then take it straight back. What AU is, so this is why I actually got into AU today for this reason. So as you can see, that is a massive M, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's beautiful. Take that candle away and look at that. Shark fin first leg back in the band. It's pinned the male, which is the daily 50. To get into this trade safely though, I'm not going to enter there. I need it to break But because it's a 4-hour setup, I'm taking this because it's an M on the 4-hour. So to safely take the trade, it's going to have to break the 50 EMA, or it could literally just hit the 50 and bounce back up again.
Okay.
So it's too risky taking this trade until the 50 is broken. So that's why my entry
Well, if you look
was,
on the 1 hour,
sorry,
if you check
yeah,
that
this,
out on the 1 hour.
so my entry was here by looking at the 4-hour, but it was this candle close on the 1 hour that broke the 50 and the 200 EMA, because this was the 50 on the 4-hour. So once it broke, that gave me confidence that it's more likely going to drop than bounce.
Okay.
Because it's a 4-hour setup, new improved rules in the Holy Grail trading Bible, you would hold a 4-hour setup up to 4 hours and see where you are. Just like what I say is with 1-hour setups, hold it 2 hours. If you're not in, if you're less than 15 pips in profit after 2 hours, scratch out a 1-hour setup. A 4-hour setup, if you're less than about 20 pips profit after 4 hours, scratch out.
Yeah, that makes sense, bro. That's a nice one, actually. It's beautiful.
So, yeah, I got out there 12 o'clock because I didn't want to mess around with non-farm coming.
Right.
About 25 pips. I mean, nothing special. For AU, it's actually quite good because AU is a lower moving pair.
True that. Yeah.
But
definitely.
I mean, obviously you would be aiming for more, 30, 35, but 25 on non-farm day, you're not going to grumble. Obviously, what they done was they used non-farm to complete this setup. This is a candle literally in 15 minutes. As soon as non-farm started, it dropped like over 30 pips. But it's too risky to be, because it's great. Obviously, in hindsight, it's played out the way I wanted it. But what happens if they spiked it up 30 pips before spiking it down? You just don't know. It's not worth the risk. On the 4-hour now, it's perfect, completed M pattern.
Yeah.
What is so because the 1350 are going to be crossing downwards now, I'll now be looking for sells on AU.
Okay.
So I'm now counting that until proven otherwise as a 4-hour reset and a new anchor.
Okay.
So I'll now sell this down and down, but obviously when it gets down here, you need to see how price reacts, because what could be happening is big W.
True.
So
Right.
when
Stay on the 4. Yeah. Stay on the 4 hour.
Yeah.
AU and just go back to around about, I'd say, the 9th of December on the 4 hour.
Yeah.
Can you see how scrappy it is there? Going
Yeah.
all the way to today's date. 1350 cross, then it crosses back, then it crosses back, then it crosses
Yeah.
back, then it crosses back.
Yeah, it's scrappy
mean,
in there.
It's just totally no rhythm. It's just been crossing back every
You're not
bloody
always
time.
going to get the perfect clean cycle. That's the thing.
Yeah. Mm. So
But I
what would you do
mean,
in that scenario when it
there's
just keeps
there's
crossing?
still a trade in here. Look, big M breaks the
Mm.
water. There's a trade in there for 30 pips.
Mm. Mm.
This right here on the daily is a 50-50 bounce. Where is it? But it just misses actually.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, there's not much in here, but when this happens, you're just not trading.
Yeah.
Or there's maybe something on the 1 hour. But I mean, it's okay if it's not giving you a trade in a week, it doesn't matter. Because the next week it probably will give you a trade, or the next week. We've
Sure.
got 5 pairs. We only need 3 to 5 trades a week to pay the bills and a lot more.
Absolutely. No, you're right.
So AU hasn't been the best lately, but there's still been the odd setup. Like this was a nice setup. These are trades that I took off the 1 hour. This, but the wrong time. This one today.
Mm.
This week. This was my first trade on AU of the week. So on the 1 hour, so sorry, 4 hour level 3. Okay. Only trade against 4 hour bias if it is a 1 hour level 3 reversal as far as the 50 EMA. Because as you know, until this 1350 cross in the 4 hour, it's a sell market.
Yeah.
So the reason I'm taking a buy in there is because by going off the 1 hour, I've got a clear 3 levels. 1, 2, 3. Also, it's level 3 on the 4 hour. So I can buy this as far as the 4 hour 50. So I wouldn't be looking to take it higher unless the 1350 crosses upwards, which they did yesterday, and there could have been a trade in here, but it moved too soon. And by the time I could have got into the trade, it had already pinned, dropped back. So this was a pass. But this trade clearly pulled back through Asia, trapped over the 50, pulled straight back, bounced off the 50%. On the 15-minute, it was a little half bat. So if you can see that.
Yeah.
Shark fin, second leg, 10 pips or more to the first leg. Yep. Valid half bat. But what do you need? You need the apex to be broken. This candle here breaks it.
Nice.
It doesn't break the pins, but it breaks the candle body, breaks the candle bodies.
Yeah.
So that was entry. And obviously TP would have been, or was, should I say, the male. So from my entry around here, that was 30 pips. I didn't actually hold it all the way up here. I only held it about 3 hours. After I think I got out here because after 3 hours, I was about 22 pips up. So I thought, right, that's 3 hours. Just get out that trade now, move on to the next, get on with your day. But yeah, it was nice setup.
Yeah, that's fine.
Take the boxes away just now. With UCAD, so once again, as I always say, only trade against 4-hour bias as far if it's a level 3 reversal on the 1 hour as far as the 4-hour 50.
Okay.
So that's why this trade was valid. First,
Sure.
I actually got 2 trades on AU on Monday.
Okay.
So the first one was yeah. First one I got in on break of the mail. The reason why 50-50 bounce. Traps below, pulls straight back. It's still close enough to the 50%. I got in break of the water, which is the 13 EMA on the hour. And literally to the top of the box and a quarterly point, pinned TP to perfection. We know at the 250s, the 500s, the 750s, and the 00s, they're quarterly points where price can react from quite a lot.
Right.
Also, I was only going for the top of the box, but you're always going to go a little bit below because the spread, or just in case it's a near miss, as on this occasion it was. But even from there to there, it's 33 pips. So at the end of the day, for UCAD, it's not a bad trade.
Okay.
So I was buying this back up as like a second leg because I had this level 3. So I was buying up as like a second leg. The 1350 hadn't crossed. So when this massive shift candle came in New York, I was looking to get on the trade. Obviously, this isn't ideal because it's a massive candle, but it's just in the guidelines for stop loss, 30 to 35 pips maximum. So just above that shift candle.
Right.
The good thing was, as these trades normally do,
You pull back.
yeah, big shift means big pullback, and you're getting onto that trade. Target was down here, but obviously that's hoping for the best. Other targets wasn't really any on by going off market structure. But if you go to pivot points, Yeah, so first target would have been here, second target there. It didn't actually go that far, this one, but still, because I got two entries, one here, one here. So that was the next candle.
Nice.
That's how it closed.
Mm.
So straight away, this entry right here, close. That's a 34 pip from my pullback to this candle.
Beautiful.
This entry closed. This entry hold a bit longer. So 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours out. 3 hours, we're out the trade there.
Hold it, yeah?
This entry got another 19.
Sure.
So yeah, once again, when at that's 7 o'clock as well. So I've held it 3 hours at 7 o'clock.
Mm.
You know, it's very unlikely that this is going to drop any further at that time at night. What you're anticipating when you get a big shift like this from level one, it's this late in the night, you're thinking pullback, consolidate through Asia, and then little stop punt, and then boom down. That's what you're expecting. You know you're not going to get this move tonight.
Yeah.
And it pretty much it done that. But the only thing was it didn't pull back and give a setup, it done a straightaway.
Get you.
Obviously these straightaways, they're good when they work, but they're not a high enough win percentage that we want to be taking them, risking large amounts of money on them, because you can't be confident. They might remember that straightaway me and you tried to get a while back.
I remember that, yeah.
We got about 10 pips in profit, and then it pulled back to the 50 EMA and done a 50-50 bounce drop. So that's why I always say wait for the pullback and the high percentage trade. Don't be trying to risk straightaways and little 15-minute patterns. But yeah, this is another example as well, is when you get to the 4 hour 50,
Yeah.
you're only buying. Unless you're trying to take trade a second leg of what would be a potential W, like for instance, in here trying to sell back to the low for a second leg. But obviously this is a bit riskier as well. But you would only be, because like I always say, only trade against 4 hour bias if it's a 1 hour level 3 reversal as far as the 4 hour 50. So when it gets here, because this 1350 is still not crossed downwards, you're only buying. Unless that 1350 crossed down and price started moving down, then of course your bias changes. You're looking for pullback, sell, pullback, sell.
True.
This was a beautiful trade, but once again, it came during 7 p.m. news.
Yeah.
So the problem is, and unfortunately there's no way around it, because they do use news to complete the cycles, to make the big moves, to do the resets sometimes. So unfortunately, our golden setup is sometimes news manipulated. They use the news to complete the cycle and to make the move in the real intended direction. So because it's too risky to be jumping on for these news events, even if it looks perfect, clean as day, it's not worth it, because you might only get 9 out of 10 might go your way, but that 1 out of 10 will probably lose all your profits from the other 9.
No, I thought that. It's not worth it.
So exactly, like when this flew up at non-farm today, I was like, I knew it. I bloody knew it. But I'm not going to, at the end of the day, if you want to be a pro trader, you can't be a gambler. You have to trade the percentages. You have to keep it clean, keep it safe. You ask any pro trader in the world, unless they've got some different strategy that I don't know about, they don't trade news. They just stay away.
Yeah, which is fair.
So looking at GU now, because this is lining up for another clean part of the cycle, first part.
Yeah, yeah.
So on the 4 hour, that's level 1, isn't it?
On the yeah, you can see that.
1350 cross up. So on the 1 hour, we know we're looking for 1, 2, 3, and it's actually done a little peak this time. We know if it does a 4th level, it's called the peak.
Yeah.
So it's done that extra little peak. Then it's came down.
It's made an M.
So remember what I say, you can trade against 4 hour bias on level 3 1 hour reversals. But for a 1 hour reversal, it has to break the 50 EMA. So you wouldn't be taking any sells in here because it's not broken the 50 EMA. Today it broke the 50 EMA there, so you could have got a little sell, but obviously this was non-farm. You would have been in here anyway. But now that it's came to this point, now we know what we want is one, two, three. And then it'll be on level 2 on the 4 hour.
Yeah. You can see that.
So we're in line for another clean first part of the cycle. Went up 4 levels on the 1 hour, peak, reversed down a level. It's now at the 50 EMA. It's also at the Mayo, which is, this can actually make it an even stronger trade. But of course, we wouldn't be looking to take this trade. Like there's not going to be a buy in here today. I'm not thinking, oh, okay, right, bounce buy. For this trade to be valid, we need the 13 EMA to come down. We need price to make an anchor on the 1 hour chart. We need price to break the 13 EMA on the 4 hour. Which on the 1 hour is a 50 EMA. So 1 hour, this is what we want. This would be an ideal world. These EMAs come down. while this plays around down here. And then when it shifts and it breaks the 13 and the 50 EMA, that's when we would buy and then look for 3 more levels up.
Yeah, I'm loving that. That's brilliant. Mm.
Right, I'm going to